like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Erdem Mutaf to deliver his speech.
Honorable Maurice Batali Simon, representative of the South Sudanese government, as well as director of the Europe Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Excellencies, Honorable Sheikh Abdullah Barak, Honorable Head of Turkish Police Contingent UNMISS, Honorable UNMISS Chief of Staff, Honorable Excellencies, Honorable representatives of diplomatic missions and international organizations, media members, our colleagues and fellow citizens. Good morning and welcome to our 15th July commemoration program. We have great honor to host you at our compound. Today, we commemorate our heroes with the deepest respect and gratitude who stopped the failed military coup attempt in Turkey on July the 15th, 2016 by sacrificing their lives. Today marked the 7th year since the attempt failed military coup by the Fethullahist terrorist organization, also known as FETÖ, on 15th July. This heinous act constitutes the deadliest terrorist attack Turkey has ever experienced. On the evening of July the 15th, the FETÖ launched a bloody coup attempt against the Turkish people and the government. Their aim was to establish a radical fundamentalist regime loyal only to their ringleader, Fethullah Gülen. On July the 15th, FETÖ-affiliated army units left their barracks to occupy key locations, such as the Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Fighters, jets, and attack helicopters bombed strategic targets including the government buildings, parliament, presidential compound, army, and police headquarters. This terrorist act encouraged thousands of civilians to stop this unprecedented heinous act. The plotters killed 251 innocent civilians and left thousands injured. On the night, the Turkish people defended democracy by sacrificing their lives. This heroic response was something that conspirators didn't expect. In this regard, I'd like to express our appreciation for the firm support and solidarity extended by His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayardit, President of the Republic of South Sudan, after this failed coup attempt to the President, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The coup attempt revealed the grave threat posed by the FETÖ terrorist organization against the state. This dark network operated through schools established over the last few decades. By brainwashing young minds at schools founded under the disguise of so-called training activities, they indoctrinated large groups and radical followers who carried out the instructions of the organization leadership unquestioningly and violated all legal and moral norms. The Turkish people who have stood against this horrific threat have fervently and courageously demonstrated to the world that they did not recognize any power above their will and stood ready to sacrifice their lives to protect their states and democratic system. All the evidence collected throughout the investigations and trials demonstrated that this terrorist attack was orchestrated by FETÖ under the instructions of Fethullah Gülen. FETÖ was established in the late 60s as so-called religious movement. In the guise of promoting education and interreligious dialogue, it managed to cover its malign intentions. The well-planned and widespread infiltration by FETÖ members uncovered into the army, law enforcement, judiciary, and numerous government institutions was carried out for decades clandestinely for an overarching plan, of which the final phase was unleashed on July the 15th, 2016. There was mass-scale exam cheating as well. In order to infiltrate the critical government posts, FETÖ-affiliated students were provided with the answers to entrance exams. There are currently main investigations into mass-scale exams cheating in Turkey, including the Police Academy entrance test, the centralized public service admission test, military schools, and other governmental jobs. The organization that disguised itself as an education movement gradually turned into a secretive operational structure aiming to transform the society by taking control of the Turkish state from inside. As its strength grew, the organization began to claim a global messianic mission depicting Fethullah Gülen as the Imam of Universe. Financing was provided by holding companies and donations from business people. The organization also established media houses to shape the public opinion. These media houses became the focal point of actions taken against judges, journalists, academicians, bureaucrats, and military officers who opposed them and tried to expose them. They were lynched and purged. Following this military coup attempt, a resolute cleansing of the public sector, including government institutions and the military, as well as the private sector from all FETÖ-affiliated persons and companies, was initiated in compliance with judiciary verdicts. Some prominent conspirators have been apprehended. Others escaped justice and found refuge in foreign countries. An increasing number of governments understand the danger of this terrorist organization, also pose to them, and are taking the necessary steps. FETÖ is also engaged in illegal activities such as visa fraud, money laundering, and arms trafficking. Terrorism does not have a nationality, ethnicity, or religion. This menace threatens humanity as a whole. Therefore, the response to this threat must be united and determined. No state has the luxury to make distinction among terrorists, and no terrorist can be classified as useful according to preferences. I'd like to stress and bring to your kind attention that FETÖ is present in around 160 countries today, with thousands of schools, businesses, NGOs, and media houses. As they aim to infiltrate and enlarge their global economic and political influence, they can constitute a direct security threat for any country where they operate. We expect the international community to stand in solidarity with Turkey in the fight against terrorism. Thank you for attendance and attention.